And you know, we saw so many of those avalanches out west. Now on the East Coast here in New Hampshire, we've got this video of this snowboarder just running ahead of an avalanche. Thankfully made it out above normal, especially back into the plains. That's ahead of the severe storms. I promised to show you who gets the damaging wind on Sunday from eastern Pennsylvania down through Georgia. Your local weather in 30 seconds.
Is tracking all of it. And Ginger, you're also starting with those dangerous dust storms that we've been following.
Right. With this wind so widespread, we're talking 80 to 100 mile per hour gusts. This is what it looked like in Las Cruces, New Mexico. There were accidents, there were road closures there through the panhandle of Texas. But what you do is you add snow to the northern side of this and you end up getting blizzard conditions. And that's what shut down part of I-25 in El Paso County, Colorado, and that is what shut down at least 150 miles of I-80 this morning, though, in the life-threatening severe weather this afternoon. So it starts in the afternoon and evening. If we can destabilize the atmosphere enough in central Illinois and Indiana, you could see tornadoes, strong tornadoes, EF2 plus they're mentioning from the SPC. Peoria, Blooming, wind threat today too. So we've got just a ton of different things, and there's also a big fire threat, which I'll share with you in a bit.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much.
First, let's go back to Ginger. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. We've got elevated risk of wildfire from Florida up to New York, back into those red flag warnings I'll show you. But first, Miami-Dade County, this was nearly 4,000 acres burned, 20% contained. It even shut down some roads on the way to the Keys. It was a fire that started last week, but the winds this week have really pumped it up, and that's what we'll see later this afternoon already, 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, and it will only go up this afternoon. That's why we've got critical, level 2 out of 3, so pretty high danger in West Texas, parts of New Mexico. Your local weather in 30 seconds. The storm that's in Southern California now and will go all the way through the deep south this weekend, it did this. In Menlo Park, trees into homes took down the east. So Tucson, Albuquerque both could see gusts upwards of close to 40 miles per hour. We stopped it there throughout the afternoon. Roswell, Lubbock, going to be windy too. And there are the high wind advisories with the fire weather alerts. Go to Chicago. Coming up, how to make the most out of your favorite fast food orders right at home. And comedian Bill Burr is here. Your local news and weather next. Former Bachelorette Katie Thurston on being diagnosed with breast cancer at age 34 and her hopes to start a family. Also, tax day is almost here, but never fear. We are turning to the experts to help you try to put some of that hard-earned money back in your pocket. Also, we'll get to your local news and weather. They're next. Yeah, the only silver lining here is that it's moving fast, and so we will move this thing through Orange County, San Diego County as we go through the morning hours, but that's still why you see a flood watch there. So we kind of time it out. It moves east into the mountains, and some of those mountains back to Texas. We've got a high life-threatening part of this storm will happen later Friday into the overnight hours, Friday into Saturday. And it will open up here, southeastern Iowa, Quincy, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri. We're talking about damaging winds in excess of 65 tornadoes that could be strong. And that's just the first day. The second day sinks south, and the tornado threat looks back to New Orleans, Jackson, Mississippi too, Michael. It's going to be a violent weekend ahead.
Yeah, all right.
You know, St. Louis, Missouri is second highest level of severe storms tomorrow night. So it's all going to come through. It'll start in the afternoon and track east towards St. Louis by 10 p.m. We stop the clock there. But be prepared throughout the evening and after you go to sleep. You've got to have 2 ways of getting warnings that'll wake you out of it, because you're going to see the potential for several strong tornadoes embedded in the line of storms from Iowa right through that state line along the Mississippi River down to Memphis and even as far south as Starkville, Mississippi. So this is just day one. We have another one I'll tell you about in a bit. Let's get a check a little closer to home.
And things are dry and cooler for us today.
Coach's bracket. You guys ready? You have your choices?
Yeah.
Predicting a winner?
Flying in baseball. Ginger with the weather.
I want to put my IFB on the floor and see what happens. I like it. That was a lot of fun. Thank you all. What's not a lot of fun this morning? The blizzard on Interstate Nebraska between either. So from Omaha up through parts of Iowa, Minnesota, the radar already lighting up. You could have 60, 70 mile per hour gusts on top of all that snow. So up through Wisconsin, we're looking for the snow accumulation. But even if the snow stops falling, the winds are still kicking. So you can have what's called a ground blizzard. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
We're in for another.
It's the right size.
Yep.
Now let's go to Ginger.
Lovely stories. Thank you so much, Michael. So how about we look at Oklahoma City? Big winds and fire danger. That's tomorrow for them. But today, much of the plains, very dry, all the way up to Valentine, North Platte, Nebraska, down through West Kansas and into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. So that's where the critical fire danger is today. But tomorrow, it's extreme. And that's Abilene and Midland up to Oklahoma City. Those winds are going to be some 50 to 60 miles per hour. Really dry air, too. So the fire danger high. Let's get a check a little closer to home.
And then mix it for the flavor?
And then mix it.
All right.
We got to add this.
All right.
Perfect. We're going to add some... Do you want to take over my cow?
I'm a saucier.
All right. Awesome.
Right.
Now, the best part.
Yeah.
Top it up with a little... This is the best part. We eat with our eyes, and so you just want to make it look as pretty as...
Tell us about the taco bowl.
All right.
I know you're telling me something, but I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Oh, move. We've only got 15.
We're going to add a few easy spices. Again, if you don't have... We're using rice here, and again, the toppings.
Oh, wait. My family. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
My family's been eating this stuff for years.
Amazing.
Now. Yeah.
How does it taste?
It's so good.
And we're going to give this recipe on our website because unfortunately we don't have time to do it.
We ran out of
We
time.
are doing the commercial break, but we'll have it on our website for sure. And Sam can hit it.
You can get Arash's cookbook, Shred Happens. So easy, so good. It's available now. Coming up, the stars of Tyler Perry's Duplicity, Cat Graham, and Top News Good.
Soda that grows on trees, huh? Can I get an orange mango?
Hold on a second.
But soda doesn't grow on trees.
It sure tastes like it does.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Yeah.
Come on.
Toyota, let's go places.
And this living legend, and he's the writer and the producer and the director. All about, he's the man, and he just he represents possibility and like limitless potential.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
And talk to me about when you were like, I'm doing this again, and what is that like training?
Hey.
So nice.
He's the man, ain't he?
He's the best.
Well, and so are you guys. Really excited about Duplicity, and it's so great to meet you.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime, guys. Duplicity starts streaming on Prime Video. Tyler, I told you I'd say it multiple times. Prime Video, Duplicity. It's tomorrow. For now, though, we go to Ginger.
I'll throw one in, too. Duplicity. Thanks, y'all. You know, the severe weather in Chicago is near Indiana. You know you're priming the atmosphere for thunderstorms that could become severe, not just with damaging wind, but you see that area highlighted, Peoria, Bloomington, Illinois, Champaign, tornado threat. EF2 or greater is mentioned in SPC's outlook, so I just want to put that out there. Then by the time this front gets here tomorrow, we get rain and snow for Boston by Friday morning. Let's get a check a little closer to home.
That's right. So enjoy today because we'll see cloud cover and rainfall tomorrow. Right now, temperatures
To put more money back into your pocket. See? Just like that.
ABC 7 honors.
And this morning we are talking taxes, so we turn to the experts. This segment is sponsored by H&R Block, and Andy Phillips, Vice President of their Tax Institute, is here. Andy, let's start it off. You say there is help out there. You don't have to be all alone when you're doing your taxes.
That's right. So with less than a month to go till April 15th, there's nothing more important than getting that trusted tax expertise with something this important. Seen it all. And that's how we make sure we get every single one of our clients the maximum refund guaranteed.
So what are some of the questions that people should ask when they're going to prep taxes?
Yeah, so look, receiving a tax refund is often the largest financial transaction of the year for millions of Americans. And so it's really important to get it right. The first thing your tax professional should ask you when you sit down, tell me what's changed since last year. Those life changes, whether it's getting married or having a child, those can often mean those life changes, can often mean tax changes and tax benefits. A few other questions you should think about asking is, tell me what credits and deductions I'm eligible for. How can I maximize my refund? And are there any new tax laws I need to be aware of? And so what's really important is to not just think about 2024 when you do that. Use it as an opportunity to make a plan for 2025 as well.
And now, speaking of new, what are some of the new child tax credits we should look out for?
Yeah, so the child tax credit is worth up to $2,000 per eligible child under age 17, with up to $1,700 of that amount being refunded. That amount, even if you don't owe any taxes. Here's another thing to emphasize. That's up to $2,000 per eligible child, meaning if you have 5 eligible kids at home, you may be looking at up to $10,000 credit. Another one to think about that people often miss is the child and dependent care credit, which is meant to help cover the cost of child care, daycare, summer camp, and related expenses, absolutely, for children under the age of 13 while the parents are either working or even looking for work. And in some cases, that can actually cover the cost of caring for a parent or a spouse